Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana.
Hello, everyone, and good morning to all of you who have taken time today to attend today's memorial service for Dr. Dube. And welcome to all our viewers, friends, and extended family members from Canada, the USA, and India. We have gathered today to stand by and support the family members in their time of profound sorrow and loss. However, today we also celebrate the life and times of a remarkable human being, a physician, husband, father, colleague, and friend who spent a lifetime serving the community of Grand Prairie. I would like to introduce the family members present today. Pushpa Devi, sons Ajit and Alok, daughter-in-law Shannon, daughter Nina, and husband Gordon, nephew Amit, and the grandchildren Jaya, Savitri, Jay, Rohan, and Jeevan. Today's program includes an introduction, followed by the Atma Shanti Puja by Mrs. Madhavi Angral, eulogy by Mr. Gordon Barrett, tribute on behalf of the GP physicians by Dr. Aparna Kali, chanting of mantras and speech by Dr. Ajit Dube, Dr. Alok Dube, and Mr. Amit Pandey, recitation of mantras by the grandchildren, invocation of the Brahma Samhita by Mrs. Madhavi Angral, followed by the closure of the program. My name is Dr. Nikhilesh Roy, and I will be the MC for today's program. Dr. Sampurnanand Dube was known as Dr. Dube to the people of Grand Prairie, as Sam to his friends and colleagues, Dr. Saab to his community, and Dada to a few of us. And I had the honor and privilege of calling him Dada, a term which is reserved for one's elder brother. When I reflect on the long association of Dada with Dada, I am reminded of his knowledge, charm, humility, and a subtle sense of humor. He was a generous man, generous with his time and advice. He was a mentor to many young doctors and dentists like us who made Grand Prairie their home. A deeply spiritual person, he was well versed in the scriptures, not only of Hinduism, but of Sikhism, Buddhism, and Islam. And he was one of the founders and the guiding spirit of the Grand Prairie Hindu Temple. By his service to the community, scholarship, and deep knowledge of the scriptures, he was a yogi in the true sense. A dharma yogi, a karma yogi, and a jnana yogi. May his Atma become one with the Paramatma. And with this, I would request Mrs. Madhavi Angral to come to the stage to conduct the Atma Shanti Puja.
Hello all, namaste to everyone. I extend my deepest sympathy to Dr. Dube's family and my gratitude to Dr. Dube family. Dr. Roy and family for considering me for the prayers today. Thank you all for having me. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnanajanashalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Namo Narayanaya. The mantra brings peace to the person on the way to the new journey after leaving this body. We repeat this for the peace of the departed soul. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. From time immemorial, we are in contact with matter. The material atmosphere in which we are living is called Maya. Maya means that which is not. The illusion we are living in, that we are this body. However, we all are the spirit soul living in this body. When the spirit soul leaves the body is good for nothing, and we all have to cremate it. The spark, the energy, or the consciousness living in this material body is the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, the Supreme One. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. The spark, the consciousness, the energy which is living in this body, that's what we are. And we are not this body. The spark is the part and parcel of the Supreme Being, the Supreme Lord, the Father of everybody. Om Namo Narayanaya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra helps the departed soul to connect with his Supreme Being and bring eternal peace to the grieving as well. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra is called as Mahamantra, which means the king of all mantras in this age of Kali. This is from one of our Vedic scriptures called Kali Santana Upanishad. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra does not pertain to only recalling the names of the Lord, Hare, Krishna, and Rama. Hare stands for the eternal potency of Almighty. Krishna stands for all attractive, and Rama is the reservoir of all pleasures, which is related to eternal pleasures. But it takes us on the journey of self-realization through supreme consciousness, redeeming our mundane one. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The transcendental vibration established by the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a sublime method of reviving our God consciousness and attaining eternal peace. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This mantra is all about absolute happiness and contentment deep inside, while living and at the time of leaving this body, both as well. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madhaviji. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. I now call upon Mr. Gordon Barrett to give the eulogy.
Hello, my name is Gordon Barrett, and I am a son-in-law to the late Dr. Sampanan Dube, affectionately known to as many friends as Sam. It is my honor to be requested by the Dube family to provide a eulogy at this service. Unfortunately, due to the current COVID-19 pandemic, protocol has regrettably forced limitations for the many dear friends wishing to join us in attendance. I just want to take the time here to thank everyone on behalf of the Dube family for their understanding and joining us today through the live stream broadcast. We welcome all those across the Grand Prairie community whom Sam had so profoundly touched their lives with his care. We also welcome those in the professional medical community whom worked with Sam throughout his career. And we especially welcome our dear family members who are joining us today from all over the world, including the Eastern United States, the United Kingdom, and across India, in New Delhi, Varanasi, Gorakhpur, and beyond. Sam was born on March the 1st, 1939, in Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh, India, to Pandit Haraha Prasad Dube and Mrs. Savitri Dube. The second youngest of 9 siblings, Sam's formative years were spent looking up to the achievements of his older brothers and sisters, who are all following in large footsteps set by their father, an exemplary man in every description. Sam's father defied convention and humble origins to succeed as one of the foremost lawyers in his region and a founder of the University of Gorakhpur. Sam's older siblings had set their paths into legal, medical, and engineering professions. And it was in this family setting that Sam forged a proud disposition with a competitive determination and hard work ethic. I'm informed that these qualities could initially be seen during his childhood with a friendly but fierce badminton rivalry with his older brother, Dr. Tauji. Sam was only 10 years old when he first set his ambition towards his life's profession, medicine. This detail really speaks to perhaps the most defining aspect of Sam's character, his compassion and kindness. After initially achieving his Bachelor of Science in Lucknow, Sam graduated from the National Medical School of Calcutta and secured a residency placement in London. He would spend the latter part of the 1960s and early 70s in London, advancing to the position of Chief Registrar by the time he was joined by Pushpa in 1971. Together, they set plans for raising a family, with a lucrative offer courting Sam to practice in Texas, USA. However, they decided on Canada as their destination to settle and raise children. For the next 5 years, Sam worked at the University of Alberta Hospital in Edmonton, and it was during this time they were blessed with the arrival of their 3 children, Ajit, Alok, and Nina. In 1977, Sam moved his family to Grande Prairie, Alberta, at that time a small settlement of 6,000 inhabitants. Here he joined the Prairie Medical Clinic and would serve the community for the next 40 years until his retirement in 2017, by which time Grande Prairie's population grew to 68,000. It cannot be overstated how big Sam's contribution to this community has been. This last week, we have seen testament to this on social media with an outpouring of sentiment from generations of Grande Prairie residents, reflecting on the lifetime of care that Sam provided to their families. I can personally testify that during my initial visits to Grande Prairie, my encounters with residents here served as a revelation of Sam's character and his capacity. I would frequently encounter people whom, in that discreet but sincere manner, make it known to me that when they or a dear family member had faced their darkest times, it was Sam who had been there to care and guide them through. Over time, I found myself realizing the capacity of Sam's character and magnitude of his impact on the lives around him. This leads me to emphasize another aspect of Sam's character, his humility. Sam was a deeply spiritual man whom prayed and meditated daily, proud of his Hindu heritage and faith, but also a man comfortable to break convention. Sam drew from multiple faiths, Catholicism, Buddhism, Hinduism. His home and workspaces are adorned with a variety of holy relics and sacred icons. Puja ceremonies would always include a variety of Hindu mantras and Christian prayers. Sam's depth of humanity allowed him to explore and enjoy all cultures, and he actively sought the guidance and teachings that they all have to offer. His library is extensive, to say the least, and his bookshelves reflect his desire for knowledge and wisdom, his love of philosophy and pursuit of academic advancements. He sought out the readings and teachings from all faiths and all walks of life. Today, gathered here in memory of Dr. Sam Dube, we reconcile our grief and our loss, but let us also acknowledge that Dr. Sam Dube was blessed to live a very, very full life. Sam certainly cultivated a refined taste, and he didn't deny himself the best of everything. He would seek out the best of tailors, the finest garments and fabrics, and at all times he'd cut the figure of a very distinguished gentleman. He traveled extensively around the world, India, England, Canada, USA, Japan, Singapore, Hong Kong, the list goes on. Sam loved to explore different cultures and experience their best culinary efforts that they could plate for him. However, not everywhere was up to his exacting standards. For instance, he did share with me that when he left India for England in the 1960s, his first meal in London reduced him to weeping in despair. On a brighter note, his eyes would light up whenever he reminisced about his two-seater sports car that he owned as a young man, a Triumph Spitfire. Just the name of that car evokes a smile, Triumph Spitfire. As a young man, he enjoyed charging through windy English country roads, hedgerows rushing past, the wind in his hair, and the cacophony of the engine and gearbox sounds assaulting in his ears. It was a kind of sheer exhilaration and sensory overload that Pushpa did not appreciate. Alas, that particular car was a short-lived enjoyment. But nonetheless, Sam was blessed to live a very full life. And he did it loving one woman. On April the 18th, 1971, Sam married Pushpa Dube in Gorakhpur. They both could not have hoped to have been blessed with a better partnership in life. They complemented each other in humor, and in Pushpa, Sam had a partner that looked after him with love that endured throughout their 50 years together. There is a well-known proverb that says, "Behind every great man." Sam's considerable life's accomplishments are a testament to the love and support he was blessed with. Together, they brought 3 children into the world: Ajit, Alok, and Nina. Sam and Pushpa raised their family with happiness, support, and love. And I came into this family and witnessed an exceptionally tight bond they share together. In later years, Sam and Pushpa would become grandparents with the arrival of Jaya, Savitri, Jay, Rohan, and Jeevan. Sam adored his grandchildren, and in recent years, he would plan his year's schedule on the basis of spending time with them. The last point to be said about Sam is that more than anything else, he treasured his family, and it's they who brought him his greatest happiness. Thank you.
Narayana.
Thank you very much, Gordon. I now call upon Dr. Aparna Kali to pay tribute on behalf of the Grand Prairie physicians.
Thank you all for coming to celebrate Dr. Dube's life and mourn his passing. My name is Dr. Aparna Kali, and I have been Dr. Sam Dube's colleague for past 20 years, a man we physicians always knew as Sam. Dr. Dube served in Grand Prairie for some 40 years. After completing his medical schooling in India and postgraduate training in United Kingdom, he moved to Canada. He was an industrious family physician throughout his years in Northern Alberta. His work over the past decades included many long ER shifts, something that has no doubt cost his children, Ajit, Alok, Nina, attendance in ski competitions, Christmas concerts, swim meets, family dinners, and so on, due to his responsibilities towards treating and saving patients. Dr. Dube also did many years of obstetrics, safely bringing many babies in this world, including, he told me, our current mayor, Mr. Bill Givens. His wife has no doubt lost much sleep seeing as many babies seem to decide to be born at midnight, and surely was relieved when he finally gave up obstetrics. He also had a special interest in allergy medicine, which over the course of decades saved countless trips to Edmonton for many of our patients. Dr. Dube even ran a busy family practice, taking care of thousands of patients on matters ranging from illness to trauma to well-being. Sam was an extraordinarily soft-spoken, down-to-earth, and easily approachable man, with a smile to us physicians, who always had good advice for all matters in life. In spite of being so busy with his professional life, he always made time to reach out to any new physicians in town. This is how, in fact, I met him and his wonderful wife, Pushpaji, some 20 years ago. They have been part of my family since, and I have always referred to Dr. Dube as Dada, Bengali for older brother. He has been supportive, given me advice, like to work very hard, to take care of my patients with utmost sincerity, and to forgive anyone. He and Pushpaji would always make time to enjoy a cup of tea with some tasty Indian snacks. Dr. Dube always spoke of how proud his children and grandchildren made him. His patients likewise had an enormous amount of respect and love for him and were upset and lost when he retired some 3 years back. If he has to be described in a single phrase, it would be as a truly dignified gentleman. He texted me a small prayer he had the night before he left us, which means the Supreme Lord Sri Ramji is in our intellect, in our mind, in our thoughts, actions, always around us in nature and whole universe. How thoughtful. On behalf of all physicians in Grand Prairie, thank you, Sam, for teaching us to be well-rounded and committed to our work. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kali. You gave us a wonderful glimpse into the life of this great man. I now call upon Dr. Ajit Dube, Dr. Alok Dube, and Mr. Amit Pandey for the mantras and speeches.
Om Namo Narayana. 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 My dad was a great man. Dr. Sam Dube was well known for his kindness, his generosity, and being an excellent doctor. All wonderful qualities. But what makes someone great? What makes my dad great? He was fearless, refused to see barriers, and was driven by passion. Over 50 years ago, well before social media made communication and travel easy, he left everything he knew and his family behind in India to become a successful doctor in England. That wasn't enough. With a vision of Canada being the best place to raise his family, he moved again. Finally landing in Grand Prairie, Alberta, this determined pursuit of his goals provided him with his 3 greatest joys: finding Pushpa, his partner in life, a wife who is an amazing person, the best mother, and has the spirit of an angel. Being a physician, serving his patients and serving our community for 40 years. Providing his children with an opportunity to be raised in a city we love and have a childhood we treasure. What is vision without work? His work ethic was unequaled. When just starting his practice, we had little money. For many years, he would work in his office all day, then go to work in the hospital all night. He was relentless, never once complained, and never looked tired. He felt blessed by God to be able to work, and he was able to help others. He was proud of our family in India, our culture, and he was deeply religious. He always ensured our connection to India with frequent trips and frequent stories. He woke up early every morning to meditate and chant prayers. He was a proud co-founder of the Grand Prairie Hindu Temple. As a young kid growing up, I was proud of my dad being Dr. Dube, or Dr. Dube, as many came to know him. And I was most proud of being the son of this Dr. Dube. I remember the respect he received from the community and the prestige he carried from being a doctor. Visiting him at the hospital was a thrill. I dreamed of being just like him. He loved to travel, learn about new cultures, eat fine food, although Mom still always had the best cooking. He had a mischievous smile, quick wit, and always knew how to make us laugh. He had style. As kids, Alok, Nina, and I remember well when he took us shopping to Savile Row, where the British royalty get their suits made. This audacious young guy, originally from a small village in India, rolls in with confidence and authority. The store owners knew instantly Dad was a real deal and treated us all like royalty. Dad was incredibly wise. We called him for advice all the time. He always knew what to do and say. He found ways to make me feel better when I was struggling. One of these discussions we had changed the course of my entire life. As a child, I wanted to be a doctor. In my teen years and college life, I wanted nothing to do with responsibility. After a couple years of backpacking through the world, I returned to Canada, and I decided I was ready. I was going to be a doctor. School didn't agree with that decision. I was smart enough to do well coasting through school, but now, competing to get into med school, competing against an extremely smart, hardworking cohort, I was failing. I was sacrificing, or felt like I was sacrificing, everything: time, friends, family, for just average rankings. I was crushed. One night, I was locked up studying in the university library, feeling defeated, concerned medicine was the wrong choice, wondering what else I could do. It was time to call Dad. I explained how hard everything is, how hard the competition is, how hard writing tests all the time is. He was supportive, and he said, keep working at it. I was disturbed, and I said, it's easier for him because he's already made it, and he doesn't have to keep doing these tests all the time. I was looking forward to more of his sympathy and wise words. Instead, he got mad at me, really mad. He sternly said that each and every patient he sees is a test. Every day is a test. Whatever we choose to do, if it's of any value to this world, we will always be tested. Initially, I was angry and hurt by him not consoling me. Later, I realized he was right. I was not raised to be defined as a quitter. I was raised to be extraordinary. I was going to work harder than anyone. I was going to enjoy the challenges that striving for success presented. Within 6 months, my grades were good enough to get into med school. Within a year, I was the top of my class. Within 5 years, I obtained one of the most competitive residency spots in the country. None of this would have been possible without my dad's wisdom. He was a true Renaissance man. He studied constantly, graduated at the top of his class. He read more than anyone I know, typically 4 books at a time. I started reading the daily newspapers with him at the age of 7. He could hold an educated discussion on any topic. And at the very young age of 81 years old, this fine gentleman, who already speaks 5 languages, told me in one discussion that he started studying French. Seriously, at this point, I just shook my head. As we all know, when Dad decides to do something, there's no doubt he will succeed. He was a wonderful father and grandfather. Despite his dedication to work, he was always there for us. He would easily and happily sacrifice everything for his children. His love for his grandchildren was a treasure. Even just speaking to the grandchildren on the phone made him so very happy. What then makes one great? All these traits are wonderful, but what really makes him great is that he did all of this every single day. He led by action. He lived a life with purpose. He lived a life full of service for his family, his community, and God. He was a unique person. He was great. And he did his best to elevate all of us around him to greatness. Dr. Samparan Dube was a great man.
Narayana. Om Namo Narayana.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. I'm Alok. I'm just going to read a text from one of Dad's good friends, if I can find it. Yeah. Okay, so this is from the Dasguptas, old friends of ours, old friends of Dad's. I am Dr. Mrinal Dasgupta from Edmonton. At present, I'm out of town, which is why I requested Ajit Alok Nina convey my respect to Dr. Dube. Dr. Dube and I were colleagues and close friends, but most importantly, we were brothers. We knew each other from medical school in Kolkata, India. After medical school, we both came to Edmonton with our wives and children to further advance our medical careers. Both Dr. Dube's family and my family also became very close. Our children grew up together as brothers and sisters. I see Ajit, Alok, and Nina as my own children. And Dr. Dube saw my daughters as his own children as well. When we started our medical careers in Edmonton, Dr. Dube and I were shocked with the cold and dry weather of Edmonton. Coming from a hot and humid Kolkata, we didn't like the extreme cold temperatures in the winter. We never saw snow until we came to Edmonton, and the snow was beautiful to look at from indoors. Through both good times and bad, we were always there for each other. Babaji, Alok, Ajit, Nina, don't think you are alone. We are here for you. I will always miss you, my dear friend, Dr. Dube. He made me laugh, and he was always there to help me figure things out. Listen to me when I was upset and cheer me up when I was down. Dr. Dube, my family and I will miss you very, very much. You played an important role in all our lives, and as an excellent physician, you cared for so many members of our Grand Prairie community. You are irreplaceable. No one can fill the void you've left in our lives. I pray to God that you have peace, Dr. Dube, and may God bless you. So that was from Dr. Dasgupta. Kind of have like just a page worth. I know I need to keep it tight. Dad would clear his throat and say, okay, Mama, let's go, if I take too long. So I'm going to tell some stories that just kind of what Dad meant to me. So we've all traveled, Nina to England, Ajit to Thailand, me to Japan, and that came from Mom and Dad. Mom told us, when she got married, Dad was like, you're going to be somewhere and you're not going to see your family much. You have to know that. And Mom was ready to go. And she stayed with Dr. Adi Tauji in Delhi, waiting to get her visa to go to England to meet Dad. And when she finally got it, they took her to the airport, and she saw them off and waved to them, and they were waving, she said, really hard back. And then to hear Adi Tauji tell it, Mom was walking onto the wrong plane, so they were waving, trying to get her attention to stop her from getting on the wrong plane. When she made it, it was hours and hours late, and Dad and Mom's first day together, they were fighting. So 50 years later, they were okay. So it's hard to describe what it takes to move to a new culture, new language, new everything. Their first summer at their first house, Dad saw the flowers in the front and loved them. Mom wasn't so sure and looked at the neighbors' yards. And Dad just let it go until a city ordinance came and said, you need to cut your weeds. Those were dandelions, not flowers. Their first winter, so in India, they, when the dust is up, they get to sweat, like kind of mat it down, hit it down with a broom. And their first big Canadian snowfall, they just had a broom and they were whacking the snow down. And then they looked over at a neighbor that had a snow shovel, and they adapted, and they did that well. Anyways, they taught us to travel, and that was something that he taught us. Advice, Dad kind of knew everything about everything, it seemed, anyways. So I had just listened to an 8-hour podcast about Genghis Khan, and I was telling him about it. And it was, one of the techniques they used to dominate was they would draw out the armies by pretending to retreat and shoot the arrows as they went on. It went away, and it was called I called it a Parthian shot. And Dad was listening to me talk, and then he was like, "Alok, it's pronounced Parthian." And I was like, how do you know this? Why do you know this? Like, were you studying for the call? I don't know. Like, but yeah, he just knew, and he knew the stories I was telling him anyways, and that's why he was so good with advice. He just really loved to read, and he loved to do and learn so much. General advice for finance he gave me was, buy yourself a nice car, buy yourself a nice home, and use all that rest of the money for your family to make sure they have a better life than you did. And then personal advice, Alok, you're going to need a job that makes a lot of money because you're very expensive. His work was everything, and we're really grateful to all his patients and friends that wrote stories on the obituaries and Facebook. We read them to Mom, and they're kind of a little bit of light for us, even if it's just for a moment. But Dad loved working, and every day he would say, I would ask him how his day was. He's like, I'm on top of the world, and I'm looking down on it. And he'd say it all the time. And he just, Dad, are you serious? Like, he worked so hard, and he's like, I love it. The patients give me life. I think of them all the time. And we'd be at holidays, and he'd sometimes have a look, and he'd kind of stare off. And I asked him, I can't remember what trip we were on. I said, what are you thinking of? He's like, one of my patients has a test coming in. I'm wondering how the results are. So even on vacations, he always worried about it. So we try to use that in our lives as children, and I try to give that lesson to my son. And whenever he calls me at work and I feel slammed, I think of Dad. Yeah. Family was big for Dad. I don't know if I'll get through this, but I'll try to read a text. Last one that Dad sent me. Well, it's not the last, to be fair. This was in June, but this is sort of the example. Dad and Mom were very supportive, and they just kind of always wanted to tell us, no matter when, whether we were down, up, or just it was a random Tuesday, they wanted to make sure they knew how much they loved us. So I just told Dad how much I miss them, how much I respect him, and he said, son, I'm now more certain than ever that you're working hard towards reaching your goal. You'll make a great doctor, I'm sure of that, because you're such a kind and compassionate person. You do work and God will take care of you. Me and Mom will always be there supporting you every way. We love you. So that, he said that stuff all the time. Sometimes I'd be just getting him because the tea was ready, and he'd just hold us, or hold me, and I was like, Dad, let's go. And, no, I want to give you a hug, and I want you to know how much I love you. So he really loved us. And he loved his grandkids. They're here, and he would have loved to see them all together. That's what gave him the most joy these days. So I haven't seen Mom and Dad for 3.5 years. It was through circumstances. So the first year, Mom and Dad, they had made plans to go to Hawaii. And so then Dad would call. He'd FaceTime and show me the view that they had. Oh, no, I'm not going to come see you. Look at this ocean. And it was beautiful. And he tried to rub it in. And then the second year, he said very clearly, look, you need to come home. It's been long enough. And I was like, Dad, I can only get 5 days off. It's going to cost like $4,000 basically for Ro and I to come down for 3-4 days. He's like, no, stay there. Don't go. With FaceTime, it's like you never left. And then the third year, I've never insisted Mom and Dad to come see me. It was always, whenever they had the chance or whenever I'd try to make it home. But this time it was long enough that I said, no, you have to come. And so Dad, he was so funny. He was like, okay, yeah, you're right. Well, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna see you. Just tell me what the weather is there. And it was plus 38. It felt like plus 43 with the humidity. And he's like, no, I'm not coming. End of discussion. And then I was like, Dad, it's gonna be by the end of it 5 years until I see you. And he's like, oh, time flies. You don't understand. So he kind of kept saying no, and then Mom was in the back, no, Dad, you have to go see him. It's been so long. He's like, why is this a discussion? It's too hot. Dad famously hates hot weather. And then she said, Alok's going to go pick up Rohan, come back, and we'll be there. Oh, I didn't hear he said he's going to pick up Ro. And they booked tickets to come to Miami the next day. So he loved his grandkids enough. And then last, everyone sort of talked about Dad's qualities. One of my favorite things about him and Mom are that if there was a mistake, they attacked it with the same way that they would live their life, and they admitted mistakes that they made, and they would try to fix them. And as Dad got older and older, he got more and more loving, I guess. I don't know if it's the right word, but Dad was always reading things to improve his life. And I called not long ago. Mom was in the shower or something, and somebody had cut me off. It was a road rage thing. They were road raging, not me. And I was calling Dad, and I was, I just want this guy to get hit by a bus and end his bloodline. And Dad was like, have you considered loving him? I was like, not at all. Not like, didn't even, no, definitely not. And I was just kind of hoping to, have a discussion about road rage and just like tear this guy, but nothing. Dad was like, what's going on in his life that he would do that? I'm like, I don't know, Dad. I didn't think about that. And so he really liked to, as he came on, live his life that way. And there weren't just words, he meant it. And after that, I was listening to an interview with the Dalai Lama, and they asked, even though you're a holy man, you must have resentment towards China for what they've done to you and your land and your people. And he said, no, I don't hate them, I love them. And the guy said, why? And he said, I love them for what they've taught me about patience and forgiveness. And it just reminded me of what Dad has done. He's not perfect, he never claimed to be, but every day he tried to make himself a better man for all of us. And he lived those words. So just a quick thank you to some people. Bear Creek, everyone here has been so kind to us and gracious. I know the community here have been so kind to Mom and Dad, and we don't know everyone's names, or faces, but we know the names, and we know how much you guys do for our family when we're not here. And then lastly, when Dad passed, Mom's first call was to the Chanas, and I know they had a traumatic day, but their family, and I'm glad my mom was with family the day that Dad died. Thank you.
Om Namo Narayana.
Thank you very much, Ajit and Alok. Thank you so much for telling us about your dad. Now, I think what we're all waiting for, the performance of and the mantras by the grandchildren. Jaya, Savitri, Jay, Rohan, and Jeevan.
Tameva mata cha pita tameva, tameva banyusha saka tameva, tameva jarya jarwin tameva, tameva surmam deva deva.
You are my mother and my father, my kin and my friend. You are my companion and I have no one besides you. You are my boat and my boatman. We will miss you.
Thank you, kiddos. That was wonderful. I now call upon Madhaviji for the invocation of the Brahma Samhita.
Such positive memories, such positive feelings shared by friends and family. I could see the positivity spread around still. We will add to this positivity by reciting these wonderful prayers, which are called Brahma Samhita. Brahma, as per our Vedic scriptures, is the engineer of this world. And Samhita means song. So this was a song initially sung by the engineer of this world in the glory of the God, the Almighty. As per Vedic knowledge, these prayers are very powerful and they are believed to spread immense positivity all around. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda Sarvakaran Karanam Advaitam Achyutyam Anadim Anantarupam Atyam Puranam Purushanam Navayuvancham Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktau Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but obtainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha, Yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth. Srishti sthiti palala sadhana sakitireka chatyeva yasya bhuvanani biharuti durga ichana rupam api yasya cha chastaste sa govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The external potency, Maya, who is of the nature of the shadow of the sit potency of the Lord, is worshipped by all people as Mother Durga, the creating, the preserving, and destroying agency of this mundane world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda in accordance with whose will Mother Durga conducts herself. Diparchireva hi dashantaram apyaktupetya dipayate vivarata hetu samana dharma yastadrag eva hi cha vishnutaya vibhati govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The light of one candle being communicated to other candles, although it burns separately in them, is the same in its quantity and quality. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who exhibits himself equally in the same mobile manner in his various manifestations. Yat pada pallava yugam vinithaya kumbha davantavi prananam samaya saganadhi rajaha vignam vihanantum malam asya jagat tarasya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The power of destroying all obstacles to mundane prosperity has been delegated to Lord Ganesha, who is the object of worship to those who are eligible to worship him. He has obtained a rank among the 5 gods as Brahma, possessing mundane qualities. The self-same Ganesha is a god in possession of delegated power by infusion of his divine power. All his glory rests entirely on the grace of Lord Govinda. Agnir mahi gagana mamu madur dishasha sacha kala tathatma manasiti jagatrayani yasmad bhavanti vibhavanti vishyanti yamakcha govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The 3 worlds are composed of 9 elements. They are fire, earth, ether, water, air, direction, time, soul, and mind. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, from whom they originate, in which they exist, and into whom they enter at the time of the universe cataclysm. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Madhaviji. Many years ago, when Dr. Albert Schweitzer, the great humanist, was on his deathbed, he was asked what he thought lacked in this world. After a few moments of reflection, he replied, kindness. But all of us who have known Dr. Dube over the years can safely say that he was an embodiment of kindness, a very rare man. As the Gita says, the body may go, but the Atma, or the spirit, lives on. This concludes the memorial service of our beloved Dr. Dube, and I hope this will help all of us to move from sadness to a place of peace and joy. Thank you.
Nara Narayana. Om Namo 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 Narayana. Narayana. Om Namo 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 Narayana. Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Narayana